I now want to examine two of black's major options at this stage. First is when black plays a passive setup based on the moves knight b d7 and bishop e7. And I will then go on to examine a more aggressive setup for black, where black puts the knight on c6 and the bishop on d6. Okay, so after black plays knight b d7, white should play bishop b2. Nothing's changed. We play the same attacking formation against virtually any black defensive system. Black plays bishop e7. White castles. We've seen all this before. Black castles. White plays knight b d2. And black plays b6. It's hard to imagine how black will complete his development without playing this move. Obviously the bishop on c8 has to move. And now in this position we should carry on as usual with the move knight f3 to e5. After knight e5, black has a choice. Black can capture on e5 immediately, or black can delay this capture for the time being. In the game Hartston against Upton from London 1984, black played bishop b7, and white now introduced a slightly different attacking idea to one we've seen before. Previously we've looked at the move f2 to f4. The nice thing about the Colle Zukertort system is that you have great versatility in the way you arrange your attack. Here white played the move queen from d1 to f3. Now normally this means that the queen is going to be swinging over, as it does in this game, to the h3 square. Black continued with development, rook c8. The c-file is likely to become open at some stage, so black prepares for that at this stage. And white played queen h3. This introduces another tactic familiar to Colle Zukertort players. Perhaps you can see what white is threatening in this position. White is threatening knight takes d7. Now black cannot recapture with the knight on f6 because it's mate on h7. But this should bring to your attention an idea if you haven't seen it at this stage, because after queen takes d7, I spoke before about the possibility of releasing this bishop on b2 against the black king. Here is an extremely appropriate moment. D takes c5. This simply wins a pawn for white, because if black recaptures with b takes c5, white plays bishop takes f6, and it's all over. Black can plough on with a move like g6, but he's a whole piece down in this position. Losing a pawn would be the lesser of two evils. Black could defend his kingside by a move such as h6 or g6 at this stage, but was probably reluctant to weaken his kingside structure at such an early stage. So black decided now was the time to get rid of this annoying knight on e5. Black took it off. Knight takes e5. And, of course, white recaptured. D takes e5. Now, the black knight really short of squares to move to in this position. If the knight moves anywhere apart from e4, it's mate yet again on h7. So the knight moved into e4. This was black's idea all along. Black, after, say, a response such as f3, is hoping that knight g5 will hold his defences for the time being. But Hartston didn't play this. White played rook a d1, a very sensible move. White's rook on d1 is now on the same line as black's queen on d8, facilitating tactics along the file. Black played knight g5, removing the knight from harm's way. White continued with queen h5, and black can no longer tolerate the pressure on the pawn on h7, as I suspect many of your opponents might, and played the move g7 to g6. This was going to happen at some stage. White now, the queen's done her work, retreated the queen back to e2 to a more central position. But if black thought that white's attack was over at this stage, he was fundamentally wrong. After queen e2, black played another normal developing move, queen c7. And white played a very interesting move here, the move c2 to c4. It looks like white is starting to play on the queen side, but white has an extremely cunning idea. Black now decided he wanted to cement his knight in on e4 should it return there, and also to give it another square. So black played the move f7 to f5. And white, surprisingly it might seem, encouraged black on his way with the move f2 to f4. This does seem strange because it allows black to play the move knight g5 to e4. Well, it was very tempting for black to do this, of course. It seems that the black knight is now firmly entrenched on the square e4. However, appearances in this case certainly are deceptive, and white now revealed his cunning plan. He played the move c4 takes d5. Black played e6 takes d5, what could be more natural? But now we see that the bishop on b2 again can come into the game along this long diagonal should the pawn on e5 move. And it was this point that enabled Hartston in this position to play knight on d2 takes e4. Not an amazing move in itself. If d takes e4, bishop c4 check, black's king has to move, it doesn't matter where, g7 or h8, it's the same, let's say h8. White plays rook d7. We're about to see this idea in another guise in a second, which picks up the black bishop on e7 at the very least, because if queen takes rook, then this bishop on b2 comes into the game again, e5 to e6 check, picks up the black queen. Black's position is in ruins. So black in the game played f5 takes e4, and white now played bishop takes e4. Now at this point, after bishop takes e4, black played rook f d8, defending the pawn on d5, and went on to lose. Let's just see what would have happened if black had played d takes e4. It's very similar to the previous line, in fact. White plays queen c4 check, king h8, rook d7, queen c6, rook takes e7, regains the piece with an extra pawn to boot. Also,
this is Grandmaster Damian Lemos here for onlinechesslessons.net. First of all, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to receive more free chess videos from us, you can just click the subscribe button below. I would also highly recommend signing up for my free mail course, the 10 Grandmaster Secrets to Dominate Chess. During this exclusive course from onlinechesslessons.net, I'll share with you my own Grandmaster shortcuts to effective attacking, defending, and growth hacks to improving your chess without complicated books or memorization. So sign up by clicking the sidebar on the right, and I know you won't be disappointed. Once more, this is Damian for onlinechesslessons.net, and I'll see you in my videos. Thank you.